With you, boy. You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my nigga. Yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockin' gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talkin' shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted, we hear the truth and reject it. But love is getting corrected, and all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, a little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. I got big ring, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, you leech ass, lil' fame. I won't war, not the same. For wrong, I tell you, for wrong. You get your shit together, for wrong. Work. I'ma do this shit till I rock, you little body bitch. I'ma judge your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I'm smooth with it, y'all zop, you little body bitch. And I switch, ain't gon' know your thought, you little body bitch. And I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch. And I'm so cold like a bond, you little body bitch. And I'm a warrior like Dan Gabar, you little body bitch. And my aim like Nana Zah, you little body bitch. Need a princess part bar, you little body bitch. Or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch. Yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got it, be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, you leech ass, lil' fame. I won't war, not same, for wrong. For wrong.
Okay. Homie, I've been...
There's a king that's coming back to save our people. Now we should be preparing ourselves for the return of our king, not stuck up in these denominations and religions that's destroying our people and destroying our nation.
So when we are in this kingdom and a brother or a sister is doing wickedly in this kingdom, we must tell them, look, the world is expecting you to stay docile, to stay stupid.
That's what Christianity teaches our people. Teaches our people to hate one another and love the oppressor. Like, we'll never forgive one another for anything that another brother or sister do to us, but we'll forgive the oppressor in a heartbeat. There's something wrong with that, man.
Imagine living your life as a whole Christian your whole life, and life's good because you're a Christian and Jesus is white and everything's going great, and there's a landslide and the earth opens up and you go downstairs and you walk through this place and you see a black Jesus, man. Why is Jesus Christ black with an afro in the catacombs, man? This predates the Renaissance period.
So when you read the book of Genesis, the trees in the garden with other nations, a leaf, what does a leaf do to a tree? Cover the tree. So Adam took the covering of another nation. What's the covering of another nation? Their culture. So when the Most High saw him, say, yo, Adam, where are you, man? Where are you? Don't mean I can't find you. It means like, who is this nigga, man? Like that. Where are you, man? I don't know you.
Okay. So the Ba al Banya Yasha'ala Wa Amarath Al Ham Wa Aidya Yahaw. The Ba means speak. Al, when it's joined with something, so Al Banya means what? Unto, right? Excellent. So Al, when it's joined with something, means unto. Banya means children. Yasha'ala is Israel. So unto the children of Israel.
Like, if it's one thing a hoe gonna do, a hoe gonna hold. But you ain't, she can't hold if there's nobody to hold with. And the thing she said at the end, where she said, I went back and I lied to him and he still wouldn't do it. And then she threw up her hands and she said, well, he'll just be a brother. That's what he need.
That's
brothers.
right.
If we have more brothers, hoes like her wouldn't have no outlet.
There was a man in the land of Oz, his name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
There you go, the man called Job. I think Job is what, like, afflicted. And that man was perfect and upright, meaning what? You can be perfect, man. Job was a man like everybody else, man. Job wasn't no angel, he didn't come from the heavens, and that man was perfect, meaning what? You can be perfect in the Bible. Being perfect is in the Bible.
Had printers on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause them niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow.
You can teach if you want. Teach if you want. We're there? Yeah, we are. All right, shalom, Lord in Christ. To the brothers, why you hold Shemaila down by Hashim Yoshai to all the sisters. This is the Monday Night Law class. We are the ISUPK, started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, God's chosen people. Okay, we'll run through what we've got going on in the class, and then we'll go straight into tonight's class and tonight's topic. Okay, so Monday night is the law class. Tuesday night is the brotherhood class. Wednesday night is the history class. Thursday night is the scripture breakdown class. And Friday night, we have the Lashon Kodash class, which is God's holy tongue, the Most High's holy tongue. Okay, all classes are streamed live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter from 7 till 9. That's right. All classes are live from the school at 394 Lodge Road, Hockley, Birmingham, United Kingdom. The only class that is not live in the school is the Tuesday night brotherhood class and the Friday night Lashon Kodash class. Friday night after the Lashon Kodash class, we have our live radio show with Captain Craffier and Officer Dungabar on the ends. Saturday, we have a Saturday Sabbath service starting at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., we hit the concrete for street camp. Alternative weeks, London and Birmingham, London Central, Piccadilly 1 week, and then Birmingham City Centre, the bottom of the ramp, Bullring ramp in Birmingham Central area, City Centre, the next week, and they're alternative weeks. So twice a month we're in Birmingham City Centre keeping street camp, and twice a month we're in London Central, Piccadilly, where we keep street camp. Okay, that's what we've got going on in the school. A lot going on in the school. Okay. Any announcements before?
This Saturday, Leicester, 5 to 7, I believe. Class.
This Saturday class in Leicester at Maidstone Road, the Highfields Workshop, known to the brothers that are local in the community down there in Leicester, officially known as the Caribbean Centre, Maidstone Road, Leicester. Will give you the postcode by the end of the class before we wrap it up at LE2, 9 p.m. LE2 0UA. That's the postcode for Maidstone Road, the Caribbean Centre in Highfields, Leicester. 5 to 7. So the class commences at 5 and it finishes at 7. Okay, you can come down there with your questions. If you've got any biblical questions, any historical questions about the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, ancient traditions, cultures. We know that 100% of our traditions are in this book, which we wrote, you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But if there's anything that you don't understand in this book, which is all you Israelites stuck in a Christian church, stuck in that Islamic mosque, in your Rastafarian doctrine, then you should come down and get the real breakdown, the truth of the Bible, the One West truth, the home of the truth, as you became under Commanding General Yohana. You will get that this Saturday. You will get that in all the classes Monday to Friday. Okay, and if you want to learn the language, you tune in 7 till 9 on a Friday evening for the Lashon Kodash class, which is the Most High's holy tongue. Okay, so we're going to go straight into tonight's topic, which is called Damn Your Pagan Feast Days. Okay, So we know what time of year it is. Okay, it's a time of the year where the heathen come alive. The heathen are up in arms and in high spirit. They don't understand that spirit that they possess, which is the spirit of Satan. Okay, and in this time of the year, too many of our so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are following these satanic traditions and that satanic spirit. Okay, because there's a lot of pagan feast days occurring this time of the year, and we're going to look into the history of these pagan feast days tonight, and we're going to look at the law of the Most High God and how it's affecting our people and what we can be doing to steer our people away from these pagan feast days. I mean, what have we had in the last 5 days that we know is filthy and an abomination to the Most High God, that you'll find so many of our people indulging in and getting involved in? Bonfire night, aka Guy Fawkes, tomorrow. A few days ago we had Halloween. When was it? The 31st, Saturday?
4 days ago.
No, it's the second. Yeah. So Thursday, Friday we had Halloween, and let's not forget, there's another pagan celebration that we forgot about called Diwali.
Oh yeah.
That started, I think it's a 5-day. We're gonna have a look at all of them. It's a 5-day celebration that starts on the 31st of October, and it goes all the way through to the 4th of October. So the last day of Diwali is today. When was the 31st of October? Was it Thursday or Friday? Friday was the first.
It was Thursday.
Thursday. So we've had Diwali since Thursday and until today is the last day. And if I tell you, I know the book Elam is the biblical name of the East Indians. That would be Afghanistan, Pakistan, North Bangladesh, North and Central and Southern India. North being the Sikh, Punjabi side of India, and Central and South India being the Hindu and the Gujarati side of India. These are all the biblical Elamites, what we know today as East Indians. Okay, and I know that the bulk of the Elamites that populate Birmingham are Pakistan. The bulk of the East Indians that represent the Hindus and the Sikhs are in Bradford and Leicester. So if you ever get the chance, let me put it, how can we put it? If you ever end up, unfortunately, in Bradford or Leicester between the 31st of October and the 4th of November, you're going to realize you're stuck in traffic jams for 5 hours because the west side of Leicester, they've got a road called what is it? The something mile in Leicester. It's from Belgrave Gate and they've got a similar spot in Bradford as well, where the bulk of the Gujarati and Punjabi people live. These are the people, the Hindus, that celebrate Diwali. And there's a mile-long road, which is called Melton Road in Leicester, and the council shut this road and all the back streets around it, surrounding roads, the minor roads around it, from 5 o'clock in the evening till midnight or 1 a.m. You cannot drive around this area. So virtually the whole of the west side of Leicester is shut for 7 to 8 hours. And it's a pain in the ass because imagine as a Black, Hispanic or Native Indian, you live in the west end of Leicester, or you live in a part of Bradford where their Hindu community is and Sikh community is. Can you imagine? All day you don't leave your house. All night you don't go to work. You don't go anywhere. You don't do nothing because this side of your city is shut down. So, okay, why don't we have anything like that? And all you have to do is look into the curses in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, to get a comprehensive understanding of why we get no perks in this society, in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, and another thing just to touch on top of that is in Psalms 83, there's been a conspiracy, an obvious and evident conspiracy against the chosen people of God, so-called blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians. And that would be another contributing factor to these curses, not just the curses, Salakia, it would be another contributing factor as to why we are dealt with differently in today's society. We are not only envied by all these heathen nations. We are hated.
That's right.
We're not only envied, we're hated and despised. Okay, there's people in this world, the hierarchy, who know who we are.
That's right.
And it's just a shame and it's scandalous that we don't know who we are and get ourselves up out of that Christian church and all these other denominations that we're stuck up in. And we're going to have a look at the law today to see why we're still dwelling in 2024 in these pagan feast days, when we have 7 high holy feast days a year that we should be abiding by, that belong to us, that were given to us as a blessing. And we don't even know the names of these 7 feast days. There's 9 feast days that we participate in, but 7 are lawful and 7 are the law, are written and recorded as the law that we must be keeping. Okay, and when you think about the law, because in that Christian church, we're not thinking about the law, are we? Well, when you come into the truth in the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, the law is almost like, for people that don't understand the Bible and don't understand this law, it's almost like having when you want to go to America or you want to leave Jamaica and come to the UK, you need a thing called a visa. Okay? Us in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we've got that visa. We've got that Esther visa. Our Esther visa is one of the 12 gates to heaven. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians stuck up in that Christian church, your Esther visa has been revoked. It's been revoked. And you're not getting that Esther visa signed by the Chancellor of Foreign Exchange, the officer, the immigration officer. You're not getting that Esther visa signed until you come out of that church.
That's right.
Until you come out of that mosque and get yourself down to 394 Lodge Road, the home of the truth, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. And that's when you will get your Esther visa to one of the 12 gates to heaven, and signed by no other than the Most High and Christ. Okay, that's what you've got to look forward to when you start learning these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Get yourself out of them pagan feast days and pagan holidays that we call Guy Fawkes, Diwali, Halloween, and learn the real feast days that are in the Bible, recorded in the Bible. You can go to the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. All 7 feast days are recorded in there, right through from verse 1 to verse 44. You can read all the 7 feast days. And there's even 2 memorials that are not recorded in the book of Leviticus, the 1st chapter, that you can read about in the 4th chapter of the 1st book of Maccabees and the book of Esther in the Old Testament. And they are the Feast of Dedication and the Feast of Purim. Okay, but that's another class. Tonight's topic is damn your pagan feast days. So we've talked about the time of the year. We know what time of year it is. Okay. We'll go straight in. We'll go straight into the topic tonight. And where are we going to start? Okay, let's start with just a briefing on King James. King James, King James was a black Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Okay, he was a Negro whom, and this is touching on Guy Fawkes, what's otherwise known as Bonfire Night. Okay, so King James was a Negro who Guy Fawkes and his goons tried to murder, tried to assassinate. This is what we're celebrating when we celebrate Bonfire Night. Okay, we're going to have a quick look at the history of Bonfire Night. Okay, so Guy Fawkes and his goons tried to murder King James on the first day of Parliament. Are we all clear on that? So on the day when King James and the politicians went to, is it Westminster Abbey, the House of Westminster? Okay, the House of Westminster, to start the parliamentary through election. That was the day that I think a guy, we're going to read about it, John Johnson, a guy called John Johnson was found with all the fuses in his pocket to the gunpowder plot that was found in one of the rooms in the lobby of the Westminster building. And that's where the whole plot to blow up King James and the House of Parliament was foiled. Okay, so a quick history on Bonfire Night. There was 36 barrels of gunpowder were found amongst firewood in a storeroom in the place of Westminster. King James was to be murdered as the Protestants of Britain showed their disdain and dislike for the Catholics, who were at the time still the majority in England and Wales. Now, King James, what does that mean? King James wasn't a Catholic, but he was Christian. Okay, he knew he was a Hebrew Israelite, but he wasn't a practicing Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
In fact, he didn't even speak ancient Hebrew, what the priests and prophets in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohanna speak. Yes, our first language is English, but we have a comprehensive understanding of our traditional language, which is ancient Hebrew.
That's right.
King James never. And that's the reason why King James had to order 80 scribes to translate the King James version. King James couldn't do it himself. He didn't read Hebrew, but he had 80 brothers that could read and write Hebrew and translated the scrolls into the King James version. Okay. On the 5th of November, 1605, a guy called John Johnson, we've just touched on him, was found with the fuses in his pocket when he was leaving. When he was leaving the Westminster building, he was found with a pocket full of fuses. These fuses were to the gunpowder, 36 barrels that were left. Yeah, they were left in a storeroom amongst firewood underneath the House of Parliament, this building, Westminster. And he was supposed to trigger this, and the rest is history. All the and we're going to have a look at the law in this, in Bonfire, the tradition of Bonfire Night, because these guys were Catholics. Guy Fawkes and his band of goons that set this up to destroy and slay King James and the members of the House of Parliament. They had Catholics in the building that was backbenchers, what we call today in the House of Parliament, backbenchers. And okay, the bulk of them were Christian and Protestants, but there were quite a few Catholics in Parliament. And like we said, the bulk of England and Wales 400 years ago was still Catholicism. Catholicism was still the main denomination and religion in England 400 years ago. And these guys Salakia, did I say that Guy Fawkes and them were Catholic? They were Protestant.
No, Guy Fawkes Catholic.
Guy Fawkes were Catholic. So the bulk of the population of England were Catholic, but they wanted to get the Christians and the Protestants and King James and all the nobles that were in Westminster, that they didn't agree with their politics. And they wanted to wipe them out and overrun the government and take over the hierarchy. And as we see, it didn't work. And we're going to have a look at the law in the Bible, because it's again, we know that one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not kill.
That's right.
Okay, and these guys had a murderous tendency. We follow this. They had a murderous tendency. They were Catholic. The bulk of the UK, England and Wales and Northern Ireland were Catholic in that era, and they was prepared to take a hit themselves. They knew they had their own people in the building in Westminster, in Parliament, and they was prepared to kill them just to get to the Protestants and the hierarchy and the noblemen and King James. And their plot was to kidnap King James' daughter and hold her for ransom while they murdered and slayed King James. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, John Johnson was found with the fuses in his pockets and was captured. Okay, when they captured him, we're talking in a time when there was burning witches on fires. They was throwing babies and children on fires. They was making all kind of sacrifices that would make our stomachs turn today. So imagine what they done. For example, torture was big in these days. So when they caught this guy, John Johnson, can you imagine the torture chamber he was sent to and the type of devices he was strapped to and had his body stretched, his head disformed, disshaped. They did all kinds of, every bone in his finger was broken. Every bone in his toes was broken. They snapped his tibia, his fibia. They more or less did enough to John Johnson just to keep his lungs and heart pumping still. But he might as well been a retard after that. He was finished. Okay, they destroyed him physically, and eventually he sold out. He sold out Guy Fawkes. He sold out all the lieutenants, the captains, the generals. You know, he sold them all out, and the plot was foiled. Okay, the King James and the government and the policing in that era, they went and arrested Guy Fawkes and his band of goons, which was imminent once John Johnson's plot had been, once he'd been found with the fuses. So the game was over. Yeah, and still to this day we celebrate Bonfire Night. We celebrate Guy Fawkes, like Guy Fawkes was a hero. Like Guy Fawkes is our hero. And this is something we don't consider. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, whenever we're faced with something or given something by the oppressor, we love to accept. We never do any research. We never go and deep it and look into it and do the research and the history on that matter or that topic. And if we did, we'd realize that not only were these guys satanic, but it's unlawful how they was acting.
That's right.
And this is a law class. It was unlawful. Like we always talk about. We have these records for a reason. If we didn't have these records, we'd be gladly sitting here today celebrating Bonfire Night. You got something for us, other one.
If I may, what used to go deep, because the Catholics all talk about, Catholic, and the Catholic like to present themselves as the authority of the Bible. When the same Catholics were willing to massacre, I should say, people, but get that like they're so holy and the soft, and they they're like the authority in the Bible. So like, I think
can't. And imagine we're not even touching on the Pope. We're not even touching on the Catholic priests and their paedophilia tendencies.
Right.
We're just touching on where their heart lies, which is devilish, which is the spirit of Satan. They damn near conquered 2/3 of the world with their murderous tendencies. That's what the Roman Catholic Church did. So we shouldn't be surprised when we deep the history of Guy Fawkes or pagan celebration like Bonfire Night. We shouldn't be surprised, because as a child, most of us grew up with sparklers and a garden full of fireworks every 5th of November. And we thought it was the most beautiful, most amazing thing we'd ever seen. And it happened once a year, and it was more important than, to a lot of kids, birthday, Christmas. It's something that every child looked forward to in the UK, and I guess all around Europe, this side of the Western Hemisphere. Well, the Western Hemisphere, this side of the world. And if you don't do your research and deep this, then the same thing reoccurs throughout the generations, and our children will keep celebrating these pagan feast days that make the Most High God feel sick and ill, according to the Bible. He's not having none of it. Okay, so the history of Guy Fawkes, as we're going to see now, will tie in to the history of Halloween and the history of Diwali, depending on how you look at it. But listen, we're here, we can give you the information. Yeah, we give you the blueprint. You go and do your own research. You go and find out for yourself and deep this yourself, and you'll find out the same information, because we've been doing this since 1969. You got something for us, other one?
No, you're saying how they tortured John Johnson. So they tortured Guy Fawkes too, and then he signed his confession, and he couldn't so bad he couldn't even sign his name properly. If you look at the screen here, like Guy Fawkes is short for Guido Fawkes, and that's what his signature would have been. But on the certificate, he couldn't even sign his own name. So just going on the back of what you said, how man would punish you to the point that you're just barely alive. This man couldn't even sign his own name with the pen slipped away. That's what it should have been on top, and that's what his signature was. So just to show how bad they would torture you back then. So like,
and believe it or not, Guy Fawkes was brought in front of King James when he was arrested. King James had certain questions he wanted to put to Guy Fawkes, and Guy Fawkes looked at King James stone dead in his face and said to him, "It's a good job you caught me, and it's a good job you arrested me, because I was going to kidnap your daughter and I was going to murder you and get rid of you." And that is one of the reasons why he probably went through what he went through, because by the time they'd arrested Guy Fawkes, they already had the information that they wanted. The plot had been foiled from John Johnson. So really, there was no reason to torture Guy Fawkes. Just send him to the gallows. Yeah, but he still faced a similar fate to John Johnson, who had been tortured for over a week and had spilt the beans and confessed to everything and named names. He named everybody from Guy Fawkes to the whole band of filthy, atrocious, abominable Catholic men that was planning and plotting against the state. You got something for us, Mozart?
Okay. And we can even add all the names if you would like, along with Fawkes and cousin Casby and Wintour. The plotters include Wintour brothers Robert, their brother-in-law John Grant, Casby second cousin Francis Tresham, his servant Thomas Bates, Fawkes' childhood classmate Christopher and John Wright, their brother-in-law Thomas Percy, Everett Digby, Ambrose. And that's just a few names that were a part of the plot to kill King James.
Come on, throw order for that, priest. Okay, so we've gone through the history of Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes, whichever you know it as or relate to it as. Okay, just remember there, It was abominable. It's not recorded in the Bible. It's not one of our feast days. It's not lawful, but we're going to have a look. It is unlawful to keep Guy Fawkes or to celebrate Bonfire Night. And just know exactly what you're celebrating if you're taking part in it.
That's right.
Because you're encouraged to take part in these pagan feast days in the Christian church and in other other faculties.
Some churches don't celebrate any of them.
Salakia, what's that, sister?
I said some churches still don't celebrate all these things.
Some do not, did you say? But 99% of them do. Okay, and even the mosque, you think to yourself, what the hell has Bonfire Night got to do with Islam? What the hell? But they don't discourage it. And if you're not discouraging it and you're going home and indulging in it, then surely you're encouraging it. Because if you're the leader of the mosque and your whole family, and you take your entire family out to the local Guy Fawkes Night, bonfire on the park, fireworks display, and all your community see you there, what do you think they're going to do? And these are the pagan feast days that our people, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, are caught up in. And if you understood how much you're displeasing your God, the Most High God, then you would surely stop this nonsense. Okay, let's have a look at the history of Halloween. Okay, and how it ties in with Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes. Okay, so Halloween originates from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain or Samhain. Okay, the correct pronunciation. Okay, who lived around 2,000 years ago. These Celts lived around 2,000 years ago in and around Ireland. Okay, in and around Ireland, the UK, Northern Ireland.
Sorry, I think the Irish baseball team is called the Celts this day, I think.
Can't.
The 40 Clover. Okay.
Can't. And the same Catholics live in a place called Glasgow. Now, we don't want to teach that Scotland and Northern Ireland were joined together, but geographically, a few thousand years ago, they probably were. Yeah, but we're not going to teach that because we're not here to teach geography. We're here to teach the biblical law, okay? And right now, I cannot prove geographically or historically that Scotland was joined to Ireland. But what we do know, these Celts were Vikings. They came from Scandinavia and they settled in Scotland and Ireland. Okay, they speak the same same dialect, and they were the same people. Okay, and that's why when you've got cities like Glasgow, the Glasgow football clubs are split into two: Rangers, which is blue and Protestant, and the green and white hoops of the Celts, which is Celtic. The green and white half of Glasgow, which is the second biggest city in Scotland, is affiliated and exactly the same traditions, culture, and people as the Irish Celts, the people we're talking about here, the ancient Irish Celts. Okay, so there's Halloween, the origins of Halloween and the history of Halloween. So they lived around 2,000 years ago. Okay, it originates from the ancient Celts who brought about a festive season called Samhain. Okay, this was in and around Ireland. UK, Northern Ireland celebrated their new year on the 1st of November. Imagine that. They just made up a pagan beginning, start of the year. It's interesting that this date has no reference to the moon cycle. It has no reference to the Bible or any historical calendar, including the Gregorian calendar, which is their fake calendar also. So where the hell did they get the 1st of November from, being the start of the new year? Okay, let's go further. Okay, it came from the Pope. This 1st of November, the start of this fake new year. Okay, it came from the Pope Gregory III from the 8th century, designating the 1st of November as a time to honor all saints. Who were the saints in the Bible?
The Israelites.
We, us, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So these guys are already trying to change history before the Renaissance period and depict all the black faces of the Bible as European Caucasians. Okay, can you imagine? They've took the saints, who are us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and they've trying to turn it into their thing. Okay, in honor of the saints. Soon after All Saints Day, soon after this period, after Pope Gregory III, yeah, soon after he announced the 1st of November was the first day of the new year, okay, in honor of the saints. Soon after the saints' day was inherited, the traditions of Samhain was added to it. Okay, so they put it all together. Okay, the traditions of Samhain, which is where Halloween came from, okay, was added to the 1st of November, which was the day of the saints, of honoring the saints. And these are the saints of the Bible, not their saints who they want you to believe, but us. Imagine that. So they're using us to create their own pagan feast days. Okay, and the records, you can Google this and find the records. Okay, so Samhain, which is traditionally Halloween. Okay, nowadays Halloween is portrayed as a fun time for children of costumes, Latin pumpkins, what else? Makeup, trick or treating. But the history of Halloween is a lot darker and demonic. Okay, Samhain season was the end of the harvest or the summer. Do we all understand this? Is there any questions? Is there any questions? Just raise your hand. The Samhain season. Samhain. Yeah, we call it Halloween today. Back then it was Samhain season. Okay. Yes. It was originally brought about, yeah, because it was the end of the harvest. Okay, when your fruits blossom. Right. And that is the end of the summer. Right. Okay, and that's where this date comes in, the 1st of November. Dark nights, cold days, long, do you understand? Long winter, summer's done. We're introducing a dark, demonic time of the year. Are we?
So what came first, sorry? Did Samhain turn to All Saints or other way around?
Samhain was first. Samhain, it was added, the honor of the saints was added by Pope Gregory III. He came from the Vatican. So you know, that whole Roman Catholicism. Remember, in this era, 600 years ago, England was still ruled by Catholics. You know, even though a Hebrew Israelite was the head of the table. King James, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. It was, the country wasn't just ran by him. The country was ran by Catholics. It was ran by the Roman Catholic Church. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. Are you okay with that? So Samhain was first.
And they incorporated it all with all
and the Pope, he added.
Changed in time.
Yes. Okay. He added he said on this day we're going to honor the saints. Okay. He wants you to believe now that the saints were them.
Yeah. And it's mad because he did the same deception that they do to us today. Today, we think Christmas is about the birth of Christ when they got a history before Christ was born. And he tricked the Catholics back then to thinking that they're celebrating All Saints Day, and we just celebrating something else.
Can't,
and then the man of today for celebrating Halloween, and we just celebrating this. I get it, guys. Just a deception.
Can't. Yeah, trickery. It's not new under the sun. Other one. This has always happened to us. Okay, Psalms 83, a tumult, a conspiracy against the real saints, against the real children of Israel, God's chosen people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Any questions in class? Okay, well let's move on. Samhain season was the end of the harvest or the summer. This is evidently where we can see bonfire night and Halloween clearly tie into each other as pagan demonic practices. Every 6 weeks, the Celts had holidays. They lit fires and made sacrifices to their fake gods. So now they're incorporating idolatry. They're just, every so often then add a little bit more and make it more demonic, more satanic. It's getting filthier and filthier as we go on. And this is your Halloween. And this is how it ties in to bonfire night, which originally was called bonfire night, where they used to burn bones. Okay, they used to burn bones. They used to burn children. They used to burn animals, and they used to burn people. Why do you think they was burning all these things? Dead fossils, fossils that had come from dead carcasses. And why were they burning criminals? Why do you think? What name were they throwing people on fires 400 years ago? What do you think that was for, or what do you think that was about? Thank you. Give that a hand. Sacrifices.
The definition up. It says Middle English term bonfire. The word bonfire comes from the Middle English term bonfire, which referred to a fire of bones, bonfire. That's the back of what you say.
There you go. Bonfire, because they was burning bones that were from dead carcasses that they'd killed. Yeah, not just they killed, just dead carcasses, fossils. Okay, but that's not the only sacrifices they were making. They were making animal sacrifices. They were sacrificing children, and they were sacrificing criminals. Criminals that maybe should have been sent to the gallows in that area. They was saving the expense of. Because if you send a man to the gallows from prison, what do you need after you've chopped his head off? You need a cleaner. You need a domestic worker to come and clean up all that blood. Yeah. So what would be easier than to take that criminal and just burn him? Just throw him on a bonfire. And that's where the term bonfire came from. Bonfires. Did you have a question, Mozart?
The Hamites likewise do something similar to that now.
We'll get to that. No, go on, slack your career.
They take the bones and pour right out and sniff it.
yeah, damn right. Filthy, disgusting Hamites. Yeah, so the Celts' holidays, they lit fires and made sacrifices to their fake gods, which introduced idolatry to the bonfire night and to Halloween. So here we've got Halloween and bonfire night both tying into idolatry. Okay, let's go on. Okay, the term bonfire, as we spoke about, came from bonfire. Also, this is the reason why Guy Fawkes and Halloween are so close together. This is the reason why we can tie them together, because Guy Fawkes was burnt. John Johnson was burnt on bonfires. Halloween, the traditional Halloween, which was the ancient Celts. What was it called again? Samhain. Okay, was all about bonfires. So this when they tie them both in together, they shuffle and mess about with the dates. Okay, we know that Guy Fawkes' plot and scheme was foiled on the 5th of November. We know that Halloween came about from Samhain, but a 6-week holiday every 6 weeks for the year, and Samhain being one of the largest festivals out of all of the Celts' pagan celebrations every 6 weeks, and that was in the harvest season at the end of the summer, the 1st of November. So they shuffle the dates around a bit. It's all in the same week. Okay, now make what you will of it, because we're going to have a look at the history of Diwali. Then we're going to go and dip into the Bible and see what the Most High God says about these pagan feast days, and ultimately what the law says we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing regarding these pagan feast days. Okay, is it coincidence that Diwali falls in the same week as Halloween and Guy Fawkes or not? What do you think? And that's a question to everyone in the StreamYard. Type in your answers if you get a chance. Anyone comes up with the answer in class, just raise your hand and give me your answer. Okay, so let's have a look at the history of Diwali.
So you got that history here to get for you? To bring out now or wait for it?
The history of what, sir?
This one behind you.
The history of Diwali.
No. It's the one that brought it out or?
Can't. Yeah, let's hold the history of Diwali 1 second. Let's go. Let's read that other one. Baba Kasha.
Any history you got as well, let me know. I can put it on the screen. Okay.
Can't.
All right, yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at the history of Guy Fawkes and Halloween, and we've already tied them in together. So we're going to have a look at the history of them both, and then we're going to dip into the history of Diwali, and then we're going to have a look at the law on these pagan feast days. Can't.
Okay, the bonfire is a recurring theme within Celtic festivals, particularly in Ireland. Ceremonies centered on the lighting of the winter fires are said to originate from Lou Lamfota, don't know if I pronounced that right, hero of the Second Battle of Moyatura, and later on also High King around 1450 BCE. This being the case, the tradition of sacred fires in Ireland, in some 3,500 years old, fires seem to have been used at all 8 of the pagan festivals, most notably Beltane, 2 fires, the summer solstice, and Samhain. The Halloween bonfire can be traced all the way back to the ancient festival at Tara, held every Samhain. All fires were extinguished all over Ireland before sunset. The sacred fire was supposedly lit by the Druids at Talcta.
Okay, and the Druids are a sect of these Catholics. And just read that again for me, Baba Kashar, Adwan.
Salakia. The Halloween bonfire can be traced all the way back to ancient festival at Tara, held every Samhain.
Tara, one of the 6 weekly festives that these that these Celts just made up and introduced from their ancient traditions and their pagan ways. Samhain being one of the larger ones. Read on another one. Baba Kashar.
No problem. All fires were extinguished all over Ireland before the sunset.
Okay, so they used to put these bonfires out before the sun rised, because it was a new day. The fire was set for the day before, one day. Read on, Baba Kashar.
Khan. The sacred fire was supposedly lit by the Druids at Tlagta, so lucky I can't pronounce it, and brought to Tara, where the king, nobility, and Druids presided over the lighting of the fire. After the Tara fire was lit, fires were Slovakia, lit all over the country, symbolizing offering of warmth and protection.
Okay, so they're trying to make it out to be a righteous thing, a holy thing, because we're at the end of the harvest, the end of the summer. The nights have grown colder. The days are shorter. The climate has changed. It's very cold. It's very cold now. The summer season, the harvest season's over. They've been making these fires, trying to make out like it's to keep you warm, when it was done in the name of paganism, in the name of evil, right, in the name of Satan. Read on, Baba Kasha.
No sweat. Khan. And protection through the dark months of the year at its entry point. One more page, right?
Is this from however? Yeah, pick it up from however, Baba Kasha, other one.
However, in contradiction to the common view, Ireland did not become Christian almost overnight.
Okay, so Ireland did not come Christian. This didn't happen. Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. The Irish were not convinced by Christianity. You understand? They weren't convinced. They had their pagan ways. They understood the ways of the Celts. Okay? And I believe that their ways would have been similar to the Vikings, because that's where they'd come from, Scandinavia. Read on, Baba Kasha.
Khan. In truth, it took about 300 years for the whole country to convert.
There you go, 3 centuries. This didn't happen overnight. This didn't happen overnight. This was a progression. Read on, Baba Kasha.
To Christianity, which is evident by both legends and archaeological evidence from graves.
Okay, so they've got the fossils to prove this. Evidence means definitive proof. They've got the fossils to prove and to back up this point here. Read on, Baba Kasha.
As a result, the transition to Christianity involves the retention of many of the cultural norms. It was norms of pagan religion and administration.
Okay, so it was a struggle, but eventually they got there and the changes were made. But like it's recorded here, it took 3 centuries for these Celts to be convinced of Christianity. What we call today Christy insanity. Okay, read on, Baba Kashadu.
As a result, the transition to Christianity involved the retention of many of the cultural norms of the pagan religion and administration. The sacred fire stayed, although it was no longer part of the pagan ceremony. It remained of virtual importance in the celebration.
So here we're starting to see the change, and it's evolving into Halloween, bonfire night, so on and so forth. Read on, Baba Kasha.
Khan. It remained of vital importance in the celebration of the now Christian seasonal festivals.
There you go. Read on, Baba Kasha.
Khan. The sacred fire continued to be used at Samhain.
So even though this fire symbolized death and the slaying of animals, children, adult criminals, they're making it out to be a righteous and a holy thing. You see that other one? Read that part again, Baba Kasha.
The sacred fire continued.
The sacred fire. How can it be sacred and they're throwing children on the fire as sacrifices? Right. You see that? Yeah. Read on, Baba Kasha.
Used at Samhain and is still common in modern day celebrations, whether secular or religious. This tradition extends beyond Ireland into Britain, but the date of the bonfire celebration was moved to the 5th of November.
The what?
Was moved to the 5th of November.
Guy Fawkes, or bonfire night as we know it today. Read on.
After the Catholic gunpowder plot in 1605.
In 1605, when they caught John Johnson, what we've just been over. How does this tie into Halloween? Well, the traditions are exactly the same.
That's right.
There's no difference.
That's right.
Which made it easy to make them in the same week. One came from the end of the harvest. One came from a time period, a date that was plotted and schemed to overturn the hierarchy. Read on, Baba Kashar. There's only a little bit left.
No, sir. I'm interested in the issue myself. Salakia. As a result of the attempt to kill James I.
That's King James. For you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, our own black king, the King of England. He was a Negro. He was an Israelite. He was from the tribe of Judah. Read on.
That's right. To kill King James I and his parliament in Britain. It has also been common to burn effigies of Guido Fawkes.
Guido Fawkes being the correct name of Guy Fawkes. Guy is an abbreviation of Guido. Read on, Baba Kashar.
And also the Pope on the fires. Something that still happens today.
Okay, so this Pope that we're talking about here is Pope Gregory III, who initiated everything and put it all together. Read up, Baba Kashar.
Most High in Christ. To a large extent. So I missed something. No. Okay. To a large extent, the original sacred meaning of the fires at all 8 of the festivals has been lost.
Okay, so every 6 weeks these Celts had these pagan festivals, and in numbers there was 8, because 8 would damn near take up most of the year if they were every 6 weeks, a month and a half. Yeah, about 11 months or more. Okay, is there any more on that other one?
I'm almost done this, I might as well. Certainly in Britain, this is true. And in Ireland, the main use of a bonfire remains at May Day and Halloween, although somewhat detached from the original meaning.
Okay, so this ties them both in. Even though they've detached Halloween and bonfire, they both have the same pagan traditions.
That's right.
They both come from a similar culture. One from the Celts, one from the Catholics, where the Celts eventually turned to these Catholics. 300 years they weren't having Christianity. Eventually they gave in. These cultural Vikings that became Christians. But this is how Halloween and bonfire night or Guy Fawkes tie into each other. And it's recorded, and it's quite simple. And this information's not hard to get hold of. You understand? So we're going to move on. We're going to have a look at the law, what the law says about these pagan feast days and how we should be dealing with them. And
I'm not sure if you're short for time. What it's called Diwali as well?
Yeah, I'm doing Diwali now, other one. So we're going to have a look at the law and how we combat these pagan feast days, because we're here to teach our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to get the hell out of these pagan feast days, to stop having anything to do with them. Okay, Diwali, bonfire night, Halloween is just the beginning. There's numerous more feast days that we caught up in. Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day. The list is endless. Okay, but the men in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we are here to teach you what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing according to our records. The Holy Bible, the King James Version 1611. And that is not to be keeping these pagan feast days because they're unlawful. Okay, any questions in class? No. Okay, the history of Diwali. The history of Diwali. In Hindu mythology, Lord Rama, his wife Sita Deva, and his brother Lakshmana returned to the homeland after 14 years in exile. No, I've got it. In some parts of India, it is believed that Rama defeated a demon king, Ravana, and so they reenact this story in Diwali celebrations. And this is an annual celebration. Like we said before, from the 31st of October until the 4th of November is the time period where Hindus, and remember, Northern India, the Punjabi people, the people of Northern India, the Sikhs, Diwali's not a Sikh celebration, but they've jumped on it as well. Is Diwali Hindu or is it Sikh, sir? It's one of them, and the others have invited themselves. The other is either a Sikh celebration and the Hindus have jumped on it, or it's a Hindu celebration. Yeah, it's a Hindu celebration and the Sikhs gate crash. Yeah, that's him. If you can share that picture. But anyway, yeah, let's have a look at 5 facts about Diwali. These are 5 facts that you'll find about Diwali. Okay?
And what did you say Diwali is? What did you say that is?
Diwali is an annual celebration, an Indian annual celebration that the Hindus keep.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of it?
The Hindus keep Diwali as a celebration because it's believed that Rama defeated, that's King Rama, or Lord Rama, one of India's Hindu leaders in this era, defeated a demon king, a king from the demon world, yeah, called Ravana. Yeah, so they reenact it every year. You know, like, what's the Christmas play that all schools what's it called? The nativity play. So in their schools, in the Indian schools, and all around the schools that have large Indian populations in the UK, they reenact this every year. So they have a play of regarding Diwali where Lord Rama is seen defeating the evil king, the King Ravana, who was a demon or from the demon world. 5 facts about Diwali that you might not know. Diwali originates in Sanskrit. That's a part of India. 2, Diwali represents light over darkness. Well, if you believe that, you believe that elephants can fly. Because this book here, the Holy Bible, King James Version 1611, this is what represents light.
That's right.
This alone, not Diwali.
That's right.
This represents lights and shuts out dark.
That's right.
You're just saying to me what the meaning of deer. You understand?
Okay, yeah. Okay. Third.
Yes.
A third fact about Diwali. Yes. Diwali is traditionally a Hindu celebration. So I should have read this when I got confused about Sikhism and Hinduism. Which one is the original, where Diwali comes from? It is Hinduism. So any Sikhs that are Punjab and they come from Northern India that celebrate this, they're jumping on a Hindu celebration. This celebration comes from the Hindus, yeah, not the Sikhs. Okay, fact 4. Diwali is typically celebrated between the 31st of October and the 4th of November. Remember, these are facts. Okay, and fact number 5. Roughly 1 billion people celebrate Diwali annually globally. 1 billion people. And 9,999 million of them are in the UK. No, not really. There's only 64 million population. But if you go to Leicester and Bradford, it will seem like 9,999 million, which is 1 million off 1 billion. are all in Leicester and Bradford. That's what it will seem like between the 31st of October and the 4th of November. In Diwali, stay the hell out of Leicester and Bradford. Don't get caught in Leicester and Bradford on Diwali.
How do you sleep at night with the fire?
So that's their feast day.
You will have a hell of a migraine
Their feast day, yeah?
for a week.
Yes.
For 5 days, you're
5
gonna have a
days.
migraine
Wow.
if you live in Leicester. Or I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I don't. Okay, so yeah, Leicester and Bradford, stay the hell out of there on Diwali. If it's you heathen, go and attend. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, watch yourselves.
That's right.
Mind what you're doing. Mind what you're doing. Be very mindful of this. Okay, Diwali. Is it coincidence that Diwali, Bonfire Night, and Halloween all share the same precise dates on the Gregorian calendar? What do you think? Mozart or anybody, can you get me Psalms 83 and 2? Because what the hell has Elam got to do with Esau? They're completely different people from different parts of the world. Yeah, but let's see what the Bible has got to say about these heathen nations. And what is staggering and really, really vexing to the priests and prophets in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana is the amount of our people. If you go down Leicester or Bradford between the 31st of October and the 4th of November, okay, and I know the UK brothers will know this probably more than the Judite brothers over the pond. I'm not sure of the Hindu population in America. It must be quite high as well. Yeah, but certainly the Benjamite brothers, Ephraimite brothers, Manasseh brothers, Asherite brothers, you won't find large portions of Elam amongst the other nations, but you will find a large portion of Elam more than likely amongst Judites and Benjamites.
I heard Billy Trinidad as well.
Benjamites.
Yeah,
Again, so
the cabinet of Trinidad to the Diwali week over there.
Can't. So if anyone doesn't understand where we're going with this, you can see that it's not just the so-called oppressor that is conspiring to take our people away from the Most High God and into his pagan nonsense. Elam is as well. And that's why it begs the question is it coincidence that these three pagan feast days all fall in the same week? Read that for me, Baba Kashar.
Okay. The book of Psalms 83, verse 2. That one?
Khan.
The book of Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
That what?
Thine enemy make a tumult.
That what?
Thine enemy make a tumult.
Come on, man. Read it properly from the top.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their heads.
Okay, so we know that Elam and Esau are both our enemies, and both lifted up their heads. Read that again for us one more time, Baba Kashar.
Psalm 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their heads. Okay,
so Elam's our enemies, the East Indian.
That's right.
Esau is our enemy, the so-called oppressor, the oppressor. Okay, and according to Psalms 83 and 2, these heathen nations have all got together in times of past, aforetime, and committed and conspired against us to commit what's the right terminology?
Conspiracy?
No, they've conspired to hold us down, to lift themselves up, lift up their heads according to our records, to lift up their heads. And if their heads are lifted up, guess where our heads are? Okay, so this is a tumult, and listen, if this isn't a perfect example of Diwali, a perfect example of Guy Fawkes, a perfect example of Halloween, the writings on the wall, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Psalms 83 and 2 is warning you that these people hate you. They're going to conspire against you, and they're going to take you away from God, and they're going to put you in pagan feast days. You'll forget about the Passover, unleavened bread, Feast of Tabernacles, Feast of First Fruits, Day of Atonement, the memorial of blowing trumpets. You're going to forget the Holy Sabbath. You're going to forget these real feast days that the Most High God blessed us with, and you're going to embrace Bonfire Night, Halloween, Diwali, because there's been a tumult against God's people.
That's right.
There's been a conspiracy against his chosen people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And this is in our records. This is in our records. And there's no getting out of this. There's no getting away from this. Okay? Their own understanding of Diwali. What is your understanding of Diwali? Because I know that this is part of the tumult. We know this is part of the tumult. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with the history of Diwali. Okay, because Diwali is one of them weird celebrations. Ain't Hinduism. What's their book called? The Gita. They've got a holy book, an unholy book called the Gita. Okay, which damn near stems back near as far as the Bible, but it's pretty obvious that it doesn't relate to the Bible, and it's been written by people, that ancient people that were surely on mushrooms, surely on some form of acid, because these idiots have recorded gods with elephant heads, monkey heads, tiger heads, all kinds of heads of serpents and all kinds of animals. There's so many gods in Hinduism. You're trying to learn them all, you'll get dizzy and pass out. It's just bizarre and ridiculous. Now, certain parts of India, depending where you come from, believe in different things, especially with their pagan celebration, Diwali. For example, listen to this. Their own understanding of Diwali. This is the East Indians, Elam. Okay. Southern India celebrates it as the day the Lord Krishna defeated the demon Narakasura. Okay, so we've got one part of India, yeah, where Lord Rama defeats a demon king called Ravana. That's in one. I think that's central India, but I'm not sure. But certainly the southern part of India, again, this information's easy to get hold of. You can get this information on Google or Wikipedia. Okay, so the southern India celebrates it as the day of Lord Krishna, when Lord Krishna defeated the demon Narakasura. In West India, the festival marks the day Lord Vishnu, the preserver and one of the main gods of the Hindu Trinity. Doesn't this sound a bit Christian? Trinity, the unholy Trinity. I'll read it again. The day that the Lord Vishnu, the preserver of one of the main gods of the Hindu Trinity, that's three gods, sent the demon King Bali to rule the netherworld. Now, I don't know what the netherworld is, but it sounds a bit ominous. Okay, let's read that again. In West India, the festival marks the day, the festival being the pagan feast day, Diwali. Okay, the day Lord Vishnu, the preserver, he must have been one of the heads of the land or the leader of the land, preserving the land, India, West India at least, because this is Western India's belief of the pagan celebration Diwali. Okay, the day Lord Vishnu, the preserver of one of the main gods of the Hindu Trinity. Okay, not the land, but the belief system of their unholy Trinity in Hinduism. Okay, sent the demon King Bali to rule the netherworld. Yeah, right. Come on, this is just bizarre. These same Hindus have a sect called Agoras. Okay, these same Elamites, the Bible calls a filthy, disgusting man.
That's right.
A filthy, disgusting people.
That's right.
Listen to this. The same Hindus have a sect called Agoras who are loyal to a fake god called Shiva, the god of destruction and transformation. Elam and Diwali is no different to Christianity, Guy Fawkes and Halloween. Elam used to eat dead bodies that had been dumped in the river. Dead bodies. Okay, so not only have they introduced idolatry, to this with their fake gods, they've introduced cannibalism. And this is and we wonder why the Most High God calls these Elamites filthy. I saw a documentary on TV the other week, and they was interviewing Moabite women and asking them, and they did a survey. You've got 3 types of man you could marry. No, there's 3 types of man. One you can marry. One you can have a one-night stand with, and one you can destroy or get rid of. And the 3 men on offer was the European man, the Afro-American, the so-called Negro, and the third one was Elam, the East Indian man. And you know what? And they asked 100 Chinese women, 100 Moabites. Yeah, because the Chinese are called the biblical Moabites. And the majority, I think it was over 70% of these Moabite women said they would marry the white man for a surety. They'd have a one-night stand with the Afro-American, the Negro, because they'd make the greatest lovers. And they would destroy the Indian man. And the interviewer was asking all these Moabite women, why would you destroy the Indian man? And do you know what? The typical answer came back again and again and again. Because they're not clean. They don't wash their food. They don't wash their skin. They're a filthy pig. That's what most of the Moabite women were saying in this survey. You got something for us, otherwise?
Have you seen them? You go on TikTok and you watch street food and stuff, and you watch the Indian version of street food. Apparently, you see it's nasty. Cooking on the floor and their foot out and
and Diwali is a time where you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians go crazy for Indian food. It's a week of korma, masala. What do the English call the hot one? Jowf. Vindaloo.
Maybe some of them nice. Have you ever tried any?
Sister, stop it. Sister, stop it. Don't do it, sis. Don't do it. We eat rice and peas and jerk chicken around here.
That's right.
See, that's what we eat. Ackee and saltfish, national dish. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so yeah, these cannibals. Where was we? Cannibals. Okay, Elam used to eat dead bodies that had been dumped in the river. They would remove them from the river and consume them. Hundreds of Israelites attended Diwali every year to celebrate Elam's ancient traditions. If you love Elam so much and you want to celebrate Diwali so much, yeah, why don't you embrace the post-mortem cannibalism traditions? If you love Elam that much, why don't you do what they do?
That's right.
if you want to celebrate Diwali, if you want to inherit their filthy habits and traditions, why don't you go and eat dead bodies like they do? Why don't you go and turn into cannibals like they were? What's wrong with that? What's up with that? You see, Elam today, it's not the real Elam that we know that is portrayed. Because Elam that we see today on a day-to-day basis is very westernized. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very westernized. If all these heathen nations were ordered tomorrow to go back to their natural habitats, now you would see the filth and the dirt and the uncleanliness of all these heathen nations. And you would be proud once again to be one of God's chosen and to be Israel. You got something for us.
Now, what you say is key. Like, we see East Indians and Africans in England with suit and tie on. So if you're cool, but they go back to their culture. The East Indian man got a culture where his high priest have like long nails, long black nails, and he's not allowed to cut it. There's another custom they have where they take a bath in elephant doo. And this is stuff you can find on the internet. I'm not making it up. And this is their culture. But they come to England, speak English, put a suit and tie on, do a 9 to 5, and they become British, so you forget. But the same with Africans too, eating blood, bush meat, all that stuff there. But you know, their cost of
Come on. Give me Exodus 12 and 1, Baba Kasha. Yeah.
Can you use Exodus 23 verse 2?
Exodus 12 and 1. Baba Kasha.
The book of Exodus 12 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you.
This what?
This month shall be unto you.
Okay, but I thought, which month is this? We're going to read and get it. But let's bear in mind, according to Pope Gregory III, I thought the 1st of November was the beginning of the year. Okay, let's prove that these pagan feast days, these pagan calendars are all a bag of nonsense according to our records. Read that again, Baba Kasha.
Exodus 12 verse 2. Exodus 12 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying,
Read.
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Okay, so this here, according to the records of the prophet Moses, this is the first day of the year.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel,
You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians. Read.
saying, in the 10th day of the month.
In the what?
In the 10th day of this month.
In the what?
In the 10th day of this month.
Read on.
This month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their father, a lamb for a house.
Okay, what are we known? What feast day do we cook lamb? The Passover, not tabernacles, Mozart, the Passover. So we know we're talking about the Passover period here. According to our food source in this celebration, which is lamb, okay, the Passover, according to Moses and our records here, is in the first month of the new year, which would be the first day of the new year. But we know, as we're going to read on, we start the Passover in the 14th day of the first month of the new year. So if this is the first, and what month is the Passover in, Mozart? What month is the Passover in? Depending on the lunar moon, it might fall at the end of March or beginning or mid-April. Okay, so according to our records, the 1st of November has got nothing to do with the beginning of the new year. And this, listen, we can't tell you, we can't iterate this enough. Yeah. What math table of these as the oppressor learn? Where the hell do they get their dates from and their calendars from? We have these records for a reason. You can foil the people, but you can't foil God. You cannot foil God's children.
That's right.
The ones of us that are in the truth, ISUPK under Commanding General Yano. And we're going to damn well teach this until our people get it. Read on, Baba Kashaw.
Verse 4. And if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the soul. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb.
Okay, and if the household to be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Okay, so if you've got too much food, what do? We share it amongst our brothers. We share it amongst our sisters. This is brotherhood, and this is what we teach on a Tuesday night.
That's right.
This is the law. This is lawful. Read on, Baba Kashar, verse 5.
5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. He shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. Verse 6. And yet shall keep it.
And ye
shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month.
Okay, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Okay, so this is definitive proof that the 1st of November and the 1st of January is not the beginning of the new year.
Right.
Okay, this is the 14th day the Passover starts, where we take the lamb, we season it up, get it ready for the evening. So when that night time comes and the day's done, it's the first day of Passover, which is the 14th day of the first day of the new month of the new year. We've just read it. So where the hell does the 1st of November and the 1st of January come from? Paganism. It comes from Halloween. It comes from bonfire. It comes from Diwali. Nonsense. It's not in our records. And let me tell you, this book is over 4,000 years old in the making. Long before Diwali, long before bonfire night, long before Halloween, long before these pagan feast days. Do we all follow this?
That's right.
Get me Proverbs 1 and 11, Baba Kashar. Any questions in class? Proverbs chapter 1, verse 11, Baba Kashar.
The book of Proverbs 1, verse 11. If they say come.
And just before you start, this is just to show you why you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should have nothing to do with these pagan feast days. Okay? Guy Fawkes tried to kill King Salakia, tried to murder, assassinate King James. Okay? King James, even though he wasn't a practicing Hebrew Israelite, is the sole reason we've got the King James Version today. He authorized 88 scribes to translate it into English. If it wasn't for King James, then we wouldn't be sitting here reading this book today.
That's right.
Okay, so if Guy Fawkes had his plot had come to fruition, then things would have been different. Obviously, through the spirit of the Most High God, he would have found another way, but it wouldn't have been the King James Version 1611. So let's read this because this is lawful. You know what Guy Fawkes tried to do, it was unlawful. And this is what our people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, are jumping on, the Guy Fawkes bandwagon, when we celebrate Bonfire Night or Halloween. We shouldn't have anything to do with it.
That's right.
He was a murderer with murderous tendencies,
That's right.
and that's against the law. Read, Bob Kashaw.
The book of Proverbs 1 verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
Read that again, Baba Kashaw.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
Premeditated murder, right here. Premeditated murder. And the sin, and that sin, your punishment is going to be death. You cannot kill a man and think you're going to slide under the mat, slide through the net and get away with it. The Most High's got angels that see everything. Okay, the law, you might not end up doing 25 to life in HMP Woodhill, in HMP Parkhurst, in Full Sutton, Whitemore, Belmarsh, but you're gonna do you've automatically gave up your ESTA visa to the 12 gates. That ESTA visa's it's gone. It's out. We're laying in wait for innocent blood. They schemed and they plotted to slay innocent blood. But guess what? If they'd have read the Bible, they wouldn't be acting like this.
That's right.
If you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in that Christian church was reading your Bible, you wouldn't be fornicating, you wouldn't be fabricating, you wouldn't be lying, you wouldn't be celebrating Halloween, bonfire, Diwali. You wouldn't be doing none of these pagan acts, celebrating none of these pagan feast days. Okay? Give me Amos 5 and 21, Baba Kashaw.
Amos 5 and 21. I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Read that again, Baba Kashaw, the one.
I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
The Most High can't stand Diwali.
That's right.
The Most High can't stand Guy Fawkes.
That's right.
The Most High can't stand Halloween.
That's right.
It's right here in black and white. How much evidence do you need, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? He can't stand these pagan feast days. Damn these pagan feast days.
That's right.
How about that? Yet here we are dwelling in it. We've got bonfire. We're swimming in our necks in We're swimming up to our necks in bonfire night, Diwali and Halloween, and we're throwing our children under the bus every year. Our kids are innocent. They don't know no better. They're gonna see sparklers and fireworks, and they're gonna love that. They're gonna see pilau rice and chicken korma from foreign batio, and they're gonna love that and jump on that. Yeah, but it's our job to teach them better. It's our job to teach them our records. You got something?
You know, in that same festival, even though they're celebrating like food festival, you know that they have a color rice there though. All different, what do you call it? Them GBLT color rice.
Oh,
national, LGBT color rice and all kind of things there.
The rice is colorful.
Really?
Yeah, green color, yellow, blue, all kind of.
And what do you think that is? To tease our kids,
yes.
To tempt them. Wow, I've not seen rice. Rice and peas don't look like that. But I tell you, rice and peas taste better though.
That's right.
Rice, that rice there that you're talking about, Moses, is fresh as hell. You take you put it in your mouth, you spit it straight back
That's
out.
right.
It's not seasoned. It's got no salt. It's got no coconut cream.
That's right.
It's got nothing in it. It's just, it tastes fresh. Like,
The way they cook it.
yeah, it's not seasoned. It's got nothing in it. It's rubbish. It's no
Cook it and
good.
it tastes nice.
Listen, these heathens don't know how to cook rice. If you want to learn how to cook rice, you get yourself, you don't get yourself as a heathen. The sisters are for the brothers.
That's right.
Yeah. But you watch a sister.
That's right.
Okay. And furthermore, if you're a sister that can't cook, watch a sister that can cook.
That's right.
And you'll learn how to season rice, because we don't care whether the heathen are eating seasoned rice or not. We couldn't give a ooh. You keep eating your fresh rice and poisoning your kids. How about that? We don't care about that. Can you read that for me again, Baba Kashar? Amos.
Amos 5:21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Okay, so why the hell would the Most High God accept children?
That's right.
Why would the Most High God accept filthy animals?
That's right.
Why the hell would the Most High God accept fossils
That's right.
as a sacrifice? You've got to be out your goddamn mind to think that bonfire night, Halloween and Diwali is in any way going to get you closer to the Most High God, the one true God, the God of Israel. Come on now. Come on now. It's over. Good night. Draw the curtains. It's a done deal. It's a cut. We've got to get out of that Christian church.
Right.
We've got to get out of that mosque. We've got to get out of these pagan feast days that are just destroying us. Give me Romans 12:9, Baba Kashar. Salakia, verse 19, Romans 12:19.
Well done. The book of Romans 12, verse 19.
Okay, and this is just touching on Guy Fawkes again. Okay, this is touching on bonfire night, because this is a precept about vengeance. Okay, and what does the Bible say about vengeance? We're gonna have a look at it. Vengeance doesn't belong to us.
That's right.
Doesn't belong to you. Vengeance is of the Lord's alone. Okay, so these people that weren't happy with King James, weren't happy with the hierarchy, if they'd have known their Bible, they were Catholics. Yeah, Catholics claim to own this. This is their book. If these Catholics, Guy Fawkes, John Johnson, and his band of goons, these band of murderous goons, if they knew the Bible, why would they have been seeking vengeance on the government and on the hierarchy of England, Wales, and Northern Ireland in a time when murdering was deemed different to nowadays? And certainly nowadays, okay, it's probably frowned on even more, but the punishment is different. You understand? Read that for me, Baba Kashar.
The book of Romans 12, verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath.
Okay, so just hold it there. So they're seeking vengeance. Okay. These are the people that are our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that are aspiring to. Every year when we celebrate bonfire night, every year when we celebrate Halloween, Guy Fawkes, Diwali, whatever the pagan feast day, we're aspiring to be, and it's like Remembrance Day, World War II. We can't get reparations. We can't be remembered 400 years of pillaging, oppression, all the vile acts that our people went through in the transatlantic slave trade. But we're supposed to remember a few 100,000 oppressors that were killed in World War II and walk around with a red poppet. This is no different. Why the hell are we remembering people, devils, demons that sought vengeance? Vengeance, we shouldn't glorify their name. We shouldn't celebrate their pagan feast days.
That's right.
Because the Most High God says, you, Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you're too holy, you're too righteous, you won't seek vengeance. So why are we supporting and glorifying a people that sought vengeance? And against a brother. King James was a brother. You might have your own thoughts on King James. Oh, well, he was a Christian. He wasn't a practicing Hebrew Israelite. So what? He was a brother. He was a brother. And these demons went out to assassinate him. Let's not ever forget that. Read that again, Baba Kashar.
The book of Romans 12, verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay.
There you
saith
go.
The Lord.
There you go. And that's signed and sealed by the Most High God. Right. Vengeance belongs to him. It doesn't belong to you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. So stop glorifying the same demons that sought this vengeance against the black man in the first place. Baba Kashar, get me Deuteronomy 8 and 9. Anybody, Baba Kashar? We'll fly through these precepts. We've got 5 minutes left. Any questions in the class? Raise your hand. Any questions in the StreamYard? In the stream, just type it in. We'll try and get it to you. We've got a few minutes left.
8 and 9, yeah?
Can't.
Deuteronomy 8 and 9. A land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness. Thou shalt not lack in anything in it. A land whose stones are iron, and out of whose thou mayest dig brass. More?
Salakias. Yeah, it's wrong. 8. Let's have a look. Boom. No, drop that. Boom. I want in Deuteronomy where we're to stay away from the heathen nations. Just give me a second. Have a look for it, Moses. See if you can find it. For me.
Matthew 5, verse 17.
No.
What does it say? Not among the heathens.
Deuteronomy, you sure, yeah?
Can't. Okay, yeah, let's get it. It's in Deuteronomy, but get it in Jeremiah 10 and 2. Deuteronomy, what's that other one?
6 and 14. That's the one.
Ye shall not go after other. Yeah, that's good enough. Right. Give me Deuteronomy 6 and 14, Bible.
Deuteronomy 6 and 14. And it reads,
give me Leviticus 23, Bible Kashar. Start 1.
You shall not go after their gods.
You shall what?
You shall not go after other gods.
You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, ye shall not go after other gods. Okay? Gods with monkey heads, tiger heads, serpent heads, elephant heads. That's what you're going after with the Hindu gods.
That's right.
Every year when you go down Melton Road and celebrate Diwali with Elam, you're supporting a god with an elephant head. How sick are you? How sick are we? Why do we want to indulge in this nonsense? Read on, Baba Kasha.
God, of the gods of the other people which are round about you.
And that is Elam. That is the oppressor. That is all these fake gods that we embrace and jump on. Because what? We're in that Christian church and we don't know no better. We're in that Islamic mosque and we think that Allah, a fake God that doesn't exist, is going to take us into the promised land. And that is not going to happen. There's no records of that. Absolutely no records of that. You got Leviticus. This is going to be the last precept. We're going to finish off. Let's have a look at our real feast days. We've had a look at these pagan feast days. The Most High God, the God of Israel, is not having these feast days. They're filthy to him. And while you're in that Christian church and in that mosque and celebrating all this nonsense, all these pagan feast days, bonfire night, Halloween, Diwali, the Most High God's not dealing with you. It's as simple as that. He's not dealing with you. He's not going to deal with you. And like we keep telling you, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you've got to get yourself down to your nearest ISUPK school under Commanding General Yohana and get this truth. Learn our records, your records. Okay, read that, Baba Kashar.
The book of Leviticus 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
Concerning the what?
The feast of the Lord.
No, concerning Diwali.
The feast of the Lord.
No, concerning bonfire night.
The feast of the Lord.
No, concerning Halloween.
The feast of the Lord.
Read on.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
To be what?
To be holy convocation.
There you go. Read on.
Even these are my feasts.
Read.
Verse 6, verse 2. Verse 3, sorry. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Okay, so that's the Holy Sabbath. That's one of our feast days. Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocation, which ye shall proclaim in their season.
Read.
Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month, at eve in the Lord's Passover.
Okay, so here we go again. The Passover is around April, Easter, spring. Okay, this is in the 14th day of the first month. So the Passover is in the first month, which is the beginning of the new year. The first month is the first moon of the new year. This is April according to the Bible. There goes the 1st of November. There goes the 1st of January. It's not recorded. It's not recorded by any of the loyal servants of the Most High God in the Bible. It's not recorded. So we've got to start taking note of this. Okay, this is the Passover, which is in April, which is the first month of the year. Do we all understand this? Okay, read on.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread.
The feast of what?
Unleavened bread.
No mention of bonfire night, Halloween, or Diwali. This is the feast of the Passover, which is on the 14th day of the first month of the new year. And on the next day, the 15th day, is a new feast day, which is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Here's 3 feast days we've read about in 5 verses. That's the Holy Sabbath. We get 52 of them a year. Is the Passover, which is at the beginning of the new year, the 14th day into the new year, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is on the 15th day of the beginning of the new year. There's no mention of Diwali. There's no mention of bonfire night. There's no mention of Halloween. Okay, and we're going to finish up now, but just for the listening audience, anybody that wants to know the 9 high holy feast days of the Most High God, okay, that 7 of them being law, which means you must keep them, you will find in this chapter in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, read from verse 1 all the way through to verse 44. There's 44 verses, and you can read about all 7 of the feast days, which are law. They must be kept by law, and they are lawful. And there's 2 that are not the law, but are lawful. And that is the Feast of Dedication, which you'll find in the 4th chapter of the first book of Maccabees in the Apocrypha. And in the book of Esther, you'll find the story of Esther and the Israelites. And that is the Feast of Purim. That's the story of where we get the Feast of Purim, or the memorial of the Feast of Purim. Okay? These 2 are memorials. They don't have to be kept by law, but there's 7 that must be kept by law. We keep them all 9, relentlessly, in the ISUPK under commanding General Johanna. And with that, I'm going to call the class. Clap it up. We're going to hand the class over to priest and warrior. Hold on, Moses. Slow down. Slow the hell down. Gonna hand the class over to priest and warrior officer Mozart for the security announcements.
Well, you know, do it. It's fine. You didn't. You might as well do this announcements.
Okay. This is the ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits. For 6 months, they are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves off the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 verse 21, Malachi 3 verse 8 to 10. Malachi 3 verse 8 to 10 means tithes in the Hebrew, Mahishara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you. Give to the treasury department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like. Upcoming holy convocation.
It's a feast of
Salakia,
I believe it is.
the feast of dedication, 25th of December.
Announce holy convocation from sheet. Remind Akim and Akiwat to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. And with that, we give one courteous salute to the priest. And Majam Shabbat, and Majam Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yazamata, class dismissed.